Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I know, it's been a while. Again. And I'm not exactly happy about that. Things are constantly getting in the way. Not bad things. In fact, there generally are good things. Basically, what's been getting in the way is work. I've been doing a lot of overtime. I average at least 3 days of overtime a week. And many times it's been more than that. And then I get home and I'm dead tired, and then when I get up, I either have to run errands or like get some other stuff, and then I have to rush off to work again. The only time I have to myself is the weekends, and sometimes even the weekends I have stuff to do. So projects that I have wanted to get done, I haven't been able to get going, and it's really been angering the hell out of me. I have videos that need to be edited. I've actually recorded stuff that's still sitting right. Oh, you can't really see what I'm pointing. It's the computer box has things in it that need to be edited. I have stuff that I still want to get done. I have certain ideas that I need to get past certain people on YouTube that I would like their input on and things like that, and things have gotten in the way. But I at least wanted to shoot off a couple of videos before this month is ended, because that's one thing that I try to do. I try to get at least a couple of videos off a month. What I really wanted to do was I'm really trying to get myself to the point where I can put out a video every week or every other week, but so far things are not lining up that way. But I'm trying. I really am. Anyway, I'm not making this to rant about that. I actually have a topic to talk about, and this is going back to old school stuff on the channel where I actually talk about things other than martial arts, though of course the martial arts stuff will still be on here. I thought that I'm kind of surprised that I have not done a video on this, because this is something that's been bothering me for a long time. What else? I got a lot of things that have been bothering me. I just haven't been getting around to talking about them, but this is one that's been just been chewing at me for years, and I'm finally gonna spit it out now. And it's my beef with the job argument. Now, you guys may be wondering, and you're probably wondering before, clicked on the video, what is the job argument? Well, let me tell you. Usually when you start discussing some, industry or some company or some resource or whatever that might be destructive in some way, let's say it's environmentally destructive, or it might be culturally problematic, or it's causing some harm to society. Sooner or later, usually sooner rather than later, you get the job argument, or the jobs argument. And it's basically the one where they're like, well, you can't get rid of this company, or you can't get rid of this industry because it provides jobs for the society, or jobs for the community, or jobs for whatever. Let's take one of the more obvious examples, the whole fossil fuels industry and what's going on with fracking right now. There was that whole, it's still a major problem in the States. And I should do a video all on the fracking thing itself, but I'll just spit this out right now. The main reason why fracking is being done is simply because the easier ways of getting oil and gas are no longer available. And that should get you thinking. Anyway, when that topic is brought up, there's usually a huge hullabaloo about it. And a while back, when Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton are still going at it, as the time of this video, with the whole Democratic Party nominations on who gets to run for president. The subject of fracking at one point came up, and Hillary had basically, when she was asked her position on it, she was, kind of, well, this, that, and the other thing, and, just kind of waffling around the question and saying, and Bernie was like, I'm against it, period. Simple answer. People loved it. But the Hillary supporters and other people are like, well, no, she's more realist. You have to understand, she's thinking about the jobs. People work in that industry, and you take that away, and then people no longer have jobs, and this industry creates jobs, and people need jobs, and I've always thought that was a rather weak fucking answer. I hate that fucking argument. I really do. And some of you guys may be looking at me cross-eyed, like, but it makes perfect sense. What's your problem? If someone's providing jobs, you know, why are you having such a beef with it? The reason why I'm having a beef with it is because it's a very short-sighted answer. And it could lead to a lot of uncomfortable positions if you think about it long enough. People tend to always jump for the easy, short-sighted answers. They don't think long-term. They don't try to look past what seems to be obvious to them. I try to look at things a little bit more long-term, or at least try to widen my scope. I'm not always successful at it because I'm a human being, and human beings are generally stupid. But I try. And then when I hear this whole thing about, well, jobs, this creates jobs, you can't get rid of that because of jobs, I'm like, you do realize what you're saying, right? Let me just spit it out. Anybody who, whenever they hear about some industry or whatever thing needs to go away because it's causing harm, and you can give reasonable, examples and give evidence to how a particular industry or company or what have you is causing some real harm to humanity, to society, that could have some major detrimental effects. When someone's pointing this out and you answer back with, but jobs, what you're basically saying is, it doesn't matter what the fuck happens as long as it creates money. As long as it provides money for people, it's A-okay. It doesn't matter what damage can be mitigated down the line. It doesn't fucking matter as long as people are able to make that money. That's what you're saying, essentially. And that argument can be used for a lot of things, which could cause a lot of harm to society. Stuff that even you may have a hard time excusing, or you may have a problem with. I've been wanting to, and I've done it a couple of times with some people I know, been using this as my counter to the jobs argument, and you're free to use it too, because I find it to be hilarious. Next time you bump into somebody who's talking about, like, well, you need to create jobs in the community because, the economy's effed up and whatever way we got to create jobs. And the thing about it's causing this harm and that harm, it's not really proven, or it's maybe not that bad, or we can fix it. I want to answer with, you know what? Yeah, you got a point. And in fact, there's another industry that we really need to stop limiting and really consider all the good it can do for creating jobs and stimulating the economy, and that's drug dealing. I mean, think about it. Here you have, a grassroots ground up startup type business. I mean, people keep talking about small business all the time and how they want to, keep on giving support to the little businessman, not the big, that's the funny thing. The Republicans, when they always talk about business, they know big business is corrupt, but they're in their pockets, but they have to still get the American public on their side. So whenever they talk about business, they always talk about the small business. The small business guy who's just trying to start up, the mom and pop stores, the small little industries, the people building things in their garage. Well, you can't get more startup than drug dealing. I mean, yeah, we can argue how they're going to have to get tied to bigger kingpins down the line, but you got some people there that they got a product they want to sell, high in demand, but they got to start somewhere, and they start small, and they build and they build and they build the American way. Just keep working at it, that hard work, and that particular industry creates jobs that people didn't have before. Jobs that pay quite a bit. For services that in other industries you try to do the same thing, like delivery men, like processors, quality control people. In other particular industries or other particular jobs, they don't make that much, but you go into this particular, the drug dealing type stuff, you can make quite a lot of money, and that stimulates the economy, put some more money in there. You're creating jobs in places that didn't have any industries. People who couldn't get jobs anywhere else, suddenly you got jobs doing this type of stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit more cutthroat, but it wouldn't be as cutthroat if you'd leave these people alone and let them continue their business, right? It's creating jobs. But then, of course, the most reasonable person is going to be, but this is causing violent crimes. This is causing, societal decay, families breaking apart, people completely losing their lives because they're addicted to a very harmful product. It's completely destroying lives. Well, that can be mitigated. I mean, these people are abusing this stuff anyway. It's not the drug dealer's fault. He's just giving them a product that they want. You know, this stuff is high in demand. You know, if we could just find ways of them not abusing it, maybe come up with some more clever ways of using it, you know, that wouldn't be too bad. Besides, I'm pretty sure we can come up with plenty of examples of people who use this stuff and they don't fly off the, you know, the handle at all. It's propaganda. They always show us they always try to show the worst case scenarios. They never show the people who are successful at using this stuff. And then of course, you know, you could probably parade, like, for example, you know, musicians who've put up really good albums, or, you know, certain artists or movie stars or whatever, who, like, they've created great works using this stuff. It's, you know, but no one ever talks about them, and you get the point, right? Now, of course, I'm not making this a black or white thing. I'm pretty sure some of you guys, actually, I'm really hoping that I'm causing a lot of, like, confusion right now. Like, people, he's got a point here, but he's got a point there. That's kind of what I'm hoping, because the whole point of this is to get people to think. But the main thing that I want people to think about, is, besides the fact that nothing is really all that cut and dry and straight up black and white, is that you gotta be careful with that whole, well, it creates jobs. Creating jobs or something making a job is not a good enough reason to let something continue to keep going on, because I'm pretty sure any reasonable person would be able to say that the way drugs are being paraded around right now around the world isn't exactly a good thing, and that's just because it's creating jobs doesn't necessarily mean that we should keep it going. You know what I mean? You know, say about legalization of marijuana all you want, and I know that's, again, not everything's cut black and white. This is just an example I'm just trying to give to get you at least to think about, you know, the stupidity of the answer of, well, it creates jobs, so there. It's not good enough. It's a very short-sighted answer. There's other factors to consider. And ultimately, I would like to think that any sane person who is concerned about how human society is going would want to weigh the pros and cons of any particular industry that is part of, you know, supposedly helping that society or being in service to that society. If a particular industry is going to end up causing great harm to it, or possibly even endangering its future survival, you might want to put the kibosh on it. Saying that, oh, it creates jobs, is not good enough. You can create jobs out of just about anything, and I'm pretty sure that you can be able to find a way to create jobs, you know, with some type of industry that isn't going to be as detrimental as some of the more problematic ones that I'm sure many people would be able to name. There's a lot of benign stuff out there that you can create jobs with. And let's not forget that our society, especially with the advent of technology and, you know, new knowledge, people are finding new ways of making their own money all the time. Hell, I'm making a video right now on a internet service where people have been able to double and triple and quadruple their incomes just by doing what I'm doing, but a hell of a lot better than I'm doing. There's always ways to create money and create jobs. That doesn't exactly have to be detrimental. It's not the ultimate answer to just allow something horrible to continue to go on. It's not, you know, the ultimate argument. And it should not be something that people think is the linchpin to whatever point they're trying to make. It really is infuriating to hear it. I've been getting sick of that, well, it creates jobs things for years. It's not good enough. It should not be a good enough answer to use whenever you're trying to defend some type of industry or company. Besides, to be perfectly honest, if human society is able to survive past 2050, the whole thing about industries creating jobs and how much money you make might end up being irrelevant depending on how things go. Yeah. That's another thing to kind of stir around your noodle a little bit. Hopefully. Okay, enough of that. Hopefully no more videos coming really soon. A couple of big projects I need to finish, but hopefully that gave you guys some, you know, food for thought, or at least just something to think about, or at the very least was something entertaining to play in the background while you're doing something else. Catch you guys later.